Knoxville, Georgia, the Durham Mach-X, Cove to Coast Marine, J&R Excavating, Baird Racing, Farm System, Lance Kittle Truck and Trailer, number 18X. That is Michael Page. Michael Page in the 18X. Behind him out of Central Alabama, the Phantom Racing Engines Capital, Sandland Reynolds, Britton Hauling, WGH Leasing and Sales, Goss Logging 05. That is TJ Britton. TJ Britton in the 5. Behind him in the 5 out of Middleburg, Florida, the Pro Power Longhorn, Whitener's Tractor Services, Southeast Ship Repair, Ocala Restaurant Supply, Jet Concrete, number 5. It's the Magic Man, Mark Whitener. And the final car in this group in the P1, it'll be Andy Pickelsheimer out of Ottawa, Tennessee. He'll be the final car that will take time here in flight number 1, group number 2 of qualifying for the Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series Super Late Models. See Mark Whitener right now second fastest. Michael Page 14.641. That is number 1 on the board. We'll see if Mark can close. Oh, they're close. 14.641 for Page. 14.695 for Whitener. There you see Andy Pickelsheimer. Good to see him with us here this weekend. He's third fastest right now. Andy Cooley will reach for the checkered flag, and here it comes. Michael Page will see that checkered flag, and he will go with a 14.641. So 14.641 will be the time for Michael Page. There you see him in the 18X, the ML Racing products on the side of that car as we are live on Facebook and YouTube around the world. Welcome to the Hornets Nest. We are right in the thick of our Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series, dirt car sanctioned Super Late Model qualifying here this afternoon. Day number 2 from the Talladega Short Track. Dan Cox will be the first car in this group out of Boonville, Alabama. The TNT chassis for the X75. Behind him in the 38. It'll be the driver to Murphy, North Carolina, the Clements Longhorn, Oliver Trucking, Bale Equipment, Divine Towing, B&A Farms, Watkin Performance Bodies, number 38. That's the Murphy Bulldog, Jamie Oliver. Jamie Oliver in the 38. Behind him in the 21, it'll be Jason Lively out of Jacksonville, Alabama, the J. Dickens Capital, On-Site Solutions, DG Roofing, Mark and Barney's TA Auto, a former Talladega Short Track champion in the 21 car, and the final car, I believe, moving on to the racetrack, that will be the 54. That will be Garrett Williams. Garrett Williams out of Kennesaw, Georgia. The Performance Racing Engine Price is Platinum. Garrett's Lawn and Tree. Abel's John's Tree Services. Epic Custom Lighting, number 54. So this is our second flight of cars. Qualifying group number 2. And you see Williams making his way on the back straightaway. Race fans watching on the Facebook and the YouTube, welcome to day 2 of the 35th Annual Ice Bowl. Cody Early with you, late model Mark, waiting in the wings. He will be back as we will roll into our mini stock qualifying. It'll be up next, so we go from big horsepower to little horsepower. Michael Page, Mark Whitener, top 2. Jamie Oliver, third fastest. The Murphy Bulldog goes 14.760. There you get a look at Michael's car. Overall fastest time right now belongs to Sam Seawright. He comes out of that first group. He was the first car to hit the racetrack, 14.345. As now you look high atop with the Velocita by Melissa Markowitz drone footage as cars come over the hill. We'll get our next 3 cars to the racetrack. First of those 3 cars, I believe that'll be Evan Harrell. Evan Harrell in the 29. He'll be the first car to make his way out onto the racing surface. Behind him, we mentioned those new entries. That'll be Kyle Courtney. He comes out of Knoxville, Tennessee. And Christian Hanger will be the third and final car. Christian, the winner of the Ice Bowl back in 2022 in the Durham Longhorn. Hanger's Hardwood and Flooring, Ballard's Excavating, Hanger's Glass, Stevens Septic Services, number 29 for Highside Hank. Hanger right now 8th fastest. Kyle Courtney 7th. And I am not seeing missing data. There we go. Evan Harrell's picking up. He's 11th fastest right now. So Garrett Williams, he's the one in the 57 that you're looking at. On my race pass says 54. He's definitely in a 57. White flag going to come out from flagman Andy Cooley. Qualifying group number 2, Christian Hanger on that lap, 8th fastest. 15.062 for the 2022 Ice Bowl winner. Nobody close enough right now to take Michael Page off of the top of this second qualifying session. Hanger does go quicker on lap 5. Kyle Courtney even faster, 14.979 for Kyle. Checkered flag out. So qualifying group number 2 in the books. One more qualifying group to go for the Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series Dirt Car Sanction Super Late Models here this weekend at the Ice Bowl. Thank you for watching around the world on Facebook and YouTube. Hey, we want you to watch the rest of the Ice Bowl weekend. Just go to CrateRacingUSA.tv. That's CrateRacingUSA.tv. And get that subscription. You can watch all weekend long on CrateRacingUSA.tv and on Speed Sport 2. There you get a look at the Fathead Thread staging lanes, cars working over the top of the hill. We're getting ready to roll in what would be qualifying group 3 in the final qualifying group. Hey, mini stocks, I need you in staging. Mini stocks, you need to be rolling your way towards the staging lanes. You will be up for your hot lap qualifying next. There is the newly crowned Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series champion from this past year out of Salem, Alabama, the Clements Longhorn CRM Motors, New Point Lighting and Design, Juiceman Speed, 3 Trade Consultants, number 44. That is Juicy Dalton Cook. Dalton Cook in the 44. Also on the racetrack at Winchester, Tennessee. Oh, no, we'll skip it. That will be Todd Hernandez out of Rossville, Georgia. The SFP Performance Systems Hernandez Mechanical Longhorn in the T6. And the 81 on the racetrack. There we go. That'll be Jayden Frame in Winchester, Tennessee. The 2022 Spring Nationals Clarksville winner in the Clements Longhorn Scott Riggs Racing RDS Dude Wipes number 81. So Jayden Frame, 14.543. That's fastest right now, just ahead of Dalton Cook's 14.585. Todd Hernandez, third fastest, and not seeing John Williams in the 57, not seeing him pick up on the time charts. Actually, he slipped in on the last group. So 14.534 for Jayden Frame right now, sets atop of the Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series Dirt Car Sanctioned Super Late Models time trials, and it's going to stay that way, I do believe, and it will. So Jayden Frame, 14.526, beats out Dalton Cook's 14.585. And right now, he will sit at the top of our qualifying as our next 4 cars will get ready to come to the racetrack. Lance Brassington out of Lexington, South Carolina. He'll be the first car to lead the way over the hill. There you get a good look at the number 11. Bush on the side of that car. I had to do that. Second car behind him is going to be the 15. That'll be Luke Hoffner. He's at a Turbertville, Pennsylvania, the Miller-powered battle chassis, and at Avon Mike Electric Miller's engines, number 15. Chris Jones, he'll be the third car in this 4-car set. He's out of Alabaster, Alabama, the Durham-powered Rocket, A to Z Auto Repair, A to Z Towing, number 46 for Chris Jones. And the final car making laps in this group, out of Noonan, Georgia, the Vic Hill Stinger, Gentry Auto Parts, DJ's Racing Solutions, Victory Seats, Sweet Victory Apparel, 03, that will be Oliver Gentry. Oliver Gentry in the 03. Fastest car in this group right now, you're looking at him on your screen. That's Chris Jones, 14.648. Third quickest overall right now for Chris. Oliver Gentry, fourth fastest on the board, 14.929 for Oliver Gentry. There you see Oliver. By the way, the Sweet Victory merchandise trailer just outside of the Turn 3 wall over there next to the big screen. You go towards the big screen over there in Turn 3, you cannot miss the Sweet Victory Apparel Trail. Go over there and see the folks and get you some merch. Chris Jones, still third fastest. Here comes the checkered flag. Last chance for them to try to do something and move up into that front row. Jayden Frame, Dalton Cook have it locked in right now. Oliver Gentry, fifth fastest. Luke Hoffner, sixth. Lance Brassington, seventh. The checkered flag comes out, and that's not going to change. Jayden Frame still top of the board at a 14.526 with Dalton Cook 14.585. There you see. Now that is just off of turn number 3. If you'll look to your right, if the drone will just pan to the right, you'll see the Sweet Victory Apparel folks hanging out right here next to the big screen. There's the big screen, and ta-da. So there you see the Sweet Victory Apparel trailer. It was just like I was flying that thing myself. Next car to the racetrack. Actually, I do believe final 2 qualifiers This is that Scott Bloomquist throwback we talked about yesterday in our practice session. That's going to be Jacob Trice out of College Grove, Tennessee. Repping the throwback. That is a Team Zero race car. AFA Lawn Care, Z-Speed Shop, DCM Fabrication on the side of that machine. And Jack Franklin, he'll be our final qualifier to Murfreesboro, Tennessee, the BBB Savage Franklin Auto Parts BBR Truck Universe, number 12. So final two cars to make an attempt to oh man, way up the racetrack goes Franklin. And I tell you what, he had enough power to stay in the gas and keep that car from climbing the concrete. It was on its way up the concrete, and it looked like he stayed in the throttle and was able to bring that car down. So it doesn't look like anything at the back of that 12 machine is hurt. With the driver out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee, everybody's going to pick the throttle back up. You see a good shot coming right into you over there in turn 3. So Austin Franklin on the racetrack along with Jacob Trice. Trice is 7th fastest right now, 15.110. Jack Franklin, 6th fastest, so he recovered nicely. He's outside row 3 right now. 14.994. One final lap for both of these drivers to close out our Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series qualifying here at TST. Day 2 of the 35th Annual Ice Bowl. Out of turn 4 will come Jacob Trice. We'll see if he improves. He does not. He'll stay 7th. Can Jack Franklin get in the top 5 from up against the concrete? Can he get into the top 5? Second lap, he will not. 14.994. So Jaden Frame will do the best work out of qualifying Group 3 at a 14.526. Dalton Cook goes 14.585. But race fans, your overall fastest qualifier for the Southern Thunder Super Dirt Series will be the defending Ice Bowl champion out of Fort Payne, Alabama, the J. Dickens-powered Mach-X, Cove to Coast Marine, J&R Lumber, Team X, Coleman Farms Racing, number 16, Sam Seawright. He goes 14.345, and that's best atop of Super Late Model qualifying. We'll get the Super Late Models out of the infield. We'll get them headed back trackside. Mini stocks. Your chance to hit the racetrack is coming up next. Folks watching on the Facebook and the YouTube, make sure you get that subscription. You go to CrateRacingUSA.tv. That's CrateRacingUSA.tv. Get that subscription and come watch the rest of Day 2 of the 35th Annual Ice Bowl here from the Talladega Short Track.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at BamaSheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Need reliable equipment to power your next project? Westpro JCB has you covered. From durable mini excavators to cutting-edge teleskids, we offer solutions that deliver performance and precision. Visit westprojcb.com today and upgrade your fleet with machines you can trust.
Rogers Dab Chevrolet was just a regular car dealership here in Brandon, Mississippi, and about 10 years ago we started branching off with our parts department, and we became one of the top 3 largest parts departments for powertrain, for engines and transmissions in the country. So in doing so, why not support the industry that supports the most powertrain, which is your performance engines and racing? And there's a need there that was not being filled. There was a customer base that was not being taken care of.
So we keep the sealed crate motors in stock, the 602, the 604s, the 525s. Whether you're driving a late model or a modified or a street stock, we've got an engine for your car. We also carry the accessory kits, KRC drives. We also do Gary Williams carburetors. We've been in this for a couple of years.
Out of Anderson, Alabama, will be the 69 of Philip Clark. Nathan Warren out of Jasper in the 3. Justin Farless out of McKinnville, Tennessee in the number 3. 531 of David Atkins out of Berry, Alabama, and the 28C of Brent Couch out of Auburn, Georgia. Once again, track record 16:48. I'll just take a crack and guess what quick time will be. I'm just guessing it'll be somewhere in the 1580s. We'll see how dumb that is. 17:68 first lap for the C69 of Philip Clark. David Atkins now trumps that with a 17:55. That's on his second lap. Mini stocks are a very interesting race car when you go up and look at them closely. Now you get a good view of the car coming out of turn number 2. It's got the hood off. You can see where the power plant is located. Justin Farless now quick, 17:09. 17:09. First half of qualifying group number 1, 17:09. Not a bad lap. He makes it a little quicker with a 16:89. A 16:89. Let's get the track record of 16:48. So his first 5 cars. Justin Farless out of McKinnville, Tennessee. Quick so far with a 16:89. Their nice drone shot of Velocity by Melissa Markowitz drone footage there. Looking at the head of the staging lanes, you can see the Bama Sheds shack to your left. Once again, I think this is a very competitive class, but this one is just a different beast than your regular Saturday night show that may have 10 to 15 to 20 cars. There's so many cars that have not been here at all in a year or been here at all. So it'll make things a little bit more interesting. Out of number 14 out of Berry, Alabama, would be Heath Smith. Brian Hale out of Manchester, Tennessee in the 02. Austin Griffith out of Sylacauga in the 357. Daniel Coffey out of Granite Falls, North Carolina in the 99. Jeremy Edwards in the 57. He's out of Sylacauga. Michael Courtney out of Knoxville in the C11. Green flag coming out, second half of qualifying group number 1 underway with a 16:89, the time to beat. What a beautiful ride that number 11 is. Gosh, I think it's really, really nice. That's Michael Courtney in Knoxville, Tennessee. The 11 got a little bit of smoke coming out of one of the competitors out of turn number 4. It's the 02 machine showing a little smoke out of Manchester, Tennessee. That's Brian Hale. Boy, Michael Courtney just decides, what the heck? 16:48. 16:48 with a 1 tying the track record. Nice. 16:48. Well, we got a new track record. Daniel Coffey in the 99 with a 16:42. 16:42. So the 99 busts the track record set in October of last year. Nice run for the 99 of Daniel Coffey. 16:42 with a 3. New track record. How about that? So how about that, ladies and gentlemen? Daniel Coffey out of North Carolina. A little bit of a drive. Rolls into Talladega Short Track. Sets the new track record. Quickest in group number 1. Very impressive. Qualifying group number 2. The first half of that. Rolling on the track. That'll be Carson Bean out of Town Creek, Alabama, in the number 11. Emma Coffey out of Washburn, Tennessee, in the E11. Billy Wayne out of Hodges, South Carolina, in the 00. Nakota Nelms out of Moulton, Alabama. I remember the Nelms group from up there. And Mark Dalton out of Lewisburg, Tennessee in the 92. Who will be quick in qualifying group number 2? We're about to find out. Tension in the pits. Limited late model, Talladega Short Track, Sportsman, limited late model B-Main. You will follow mini stock qualifying. Limited, you will follow mini stock qualifying. Nobody in this first half of qualifying group number 2 was close at all to getting into the top 5. So let's see what the second half of this qualifying group number 2 can do. Once again, attention in the pits. Attention in the pits. Limited late model B-Main competitors. You can head to the staging lanes. You will follow mini stock qualifying. All right, the second half rolling out on the track. Sorry, a little bit ahead of myself. This is the first half of qualifying group number 2. Oops. Continuing on this Friday morning here in East Avoca, Alabama at the Talladega Short Track with the mini stock division. New track record was set about 10 minutes ago by Daniel Coffey at 16:42. Matt Jackson quick in this group, 16:70. Quick 16:70 for Matt Jackson on the 94. Dakota Nelms second quick, 17:23. 16:70 for Matt Jackson. Looks like the number 11 has given up the ghost. A lot more smoke coming out of that ride, and he'll stop at the entrance to turn number 1 to bring out the caution light on the Whelen safety lights. And thank Whelen Engineering very much for their wonderful caution lights. Don't forget some of our grandstand vendors is Bricks and Sticks Wood-Fired Pizza, Holmes Haven Pork Skins and Peanuts, Main Street Ice Cream, Taco Tuesday. Pit vendors include TJ's Crawfish. They got seafood, fish, and gumbo. Steak on a Stick, pork chop sandwich, steak on a stick, shrimp on a stick. American Smokehouse Barbecue. They got barbecue pork, wings, and bologna. And N&W Concessions cheesesteaks, ribbon fries, Polish and Italian sausages, and On the Rocks lemonade and sodas. You can listen to the Braves broadcast at a number of locations, 99.9 FM if you're doing the FM thing. Or you can sign up to TrackTune, which is easy, no cost, just an email and a password, and you're up to bat. You can keep up with the lineups and finishes on the My Race Pass app. And be sure to follow us on all social media to stay up to date with everything TST. And you can catch every lap on Crate Racing USA TV. Upcoming events, ladies and gentlemen. I was waiting for some of these modifieds or minis to get rolling. March 6th, the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars return here to Talladega Short Track for a Friday night go. And the next night, Saturday, March 7th, our preseason open practice. And then our season opener, our 49th annual season opener, will be Saturday, March 14th. Going for the Talladega Cup in 2026. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to get back underway. Had a little bit of liquid down there off of coming out of turn number 2 and in turn number 3. There's the 92 of Matt Dalton on Lewisburg, Tennessee. Still quick time. Matt Jackson in this group, 16.70 with a 4. Riley Miller in the 17M out of Morrison, Tennessee. 21E of Shannon Etheridge out of Carnesville, Georgia. Joey Graham in the number 12 out of Aiken, South Carolina. Dylan Melson out of Decatur, almost called it Decatur. 21X, and Austin Baxley out of Mariana, Florida in the 01. There's a really good shot in turn number 1. You can get an idea of the banking. You know, you sit in the grandstands, you look at the banking, and it's not too much. You drive your personal vehicle on there. I've done it a few times. Don't tell anybody, wink, wink. And boy, man, it is really banked. And that turn 1 comes up on you fast, as well as turns 3 and 4. So qualifying group number 2 for the mini stocks underway here at TST. 1642 track record. That's going to be tough to beat by Daniel Coffey out of North Carolina. Austin Baxley quick in this group. Very nice run. 16:63. That's pretty stellar at this point of the day. 16:63 for Baxley. And that will be quick in this group. So the driver out of Mariana, Florida with a 16:63. Driving the 0-1, Austin Baxley. Qualifying group number 3 will be rolling on the track. Limited late models. We need B-main competitors to the staging lanes, please. Limited late models, B-main competitors to the staging lanes, please. Boy, you can see there on Crate Racing USA TV, a little bit of H2O was splashed up right on the bottom of the groove there. Still pretty wet on the bottom. Precipitation during the week. Better known as liquid sunshine. That'll take a minute to get soaked in. So once again, we need limited late model B-main competitors. If you're in the B-main, it is your turn right after the mini stocks. Sometimes you can clean up a little bit of a wet mess like that by throwing on some dirt on it and running it in, but that is a good bit of moisture. It'll just take a few minutes for these cars to run it on through. Once again, we've got some great food places on the main grandstand side and in the pits. If you're down for some seafood, fish or gumbo, TJ's Crab Shack. They got crawfish and all that. Steak on a stick. Thank you very much for bringing that. That was delicious. Steak on a stick, pork chop, Sammy. Shrimp on a stick. Shrimp. American Smokehouse Barbecue. They got barbecue pork, wings, and bologna. N&W Concessions, cheesesteaks, ribbon fries, Polish and Italian sausages. On the rocks, lemonade. Great stuff. Don't forget, before they run out, go by the Talladega Short Track trailer and get your Ice Bowl t-shirts and hoodies. And there's Bricks and Sticks wood-fired pizza, Holmes Haven pork skins and peanuts, Main Street ice cream, Taco Tuesday. As a man who's in the tortilla business, Taco Tuesday is near and dear to my heart.
Rogers Dab Chevrolet was just a regular car dealership here in Brandon, Mississippi, and about 10 years ago we started branching off with our parts department, and we became one of the top 3 largest parts departments for powertrain, for engines and transmissions in the country. So in doing so, why not support the industry that supports the most powertrain, which is your performance engines and racing? And there's a need there that was not being filled. There was a customer base that was not being taken care of.
We keep the sealed crate motors in stock, the 602, the 604s, the 525s. Whether you're driving a late model or a modified or a street stock, we've got an engine for your car. We also carry the accessory kits, KRC drives. We also do Gary Williams carburetors. We've been in this for a couple years now, and we're doing it to benefit the racers.
Everyone is trying to get into racing, knows that it's not a cheap sport to get into. So price structure was a big thing in taking care of the racers, and we knew early on that we did not want to make this a profit center. We wanted to make it about the racers. Price is a big thing. However, customer service is where it's at. And we've had several instances where racetracks have called us and said, hey, we had a driver out here qualifying and their engine popped. And it's Friday night at 9 o'clock. And our team, Benny and Ryan, they're calling me and saying, hey, boss, we need to take care of this race car driver. Let's get them an engine as soon as possible. And they'll be here before sunrise the next morning on Saturday morning, pulling that engine, getting it to that person so they can get it installed and be racing that night. That's the kind of customer service we want to deliver.
Like a lot of those guys are avoiding that wet spot down there. And they're way around it. Still, Austin Bexley quick in this group. He just made it a little bit quicker at a 16:58. 16:58 for the Florida driver. Quick timer, the Florida driver, and that white over blue 01. Final couple of corners. 16:58 will be quick in qualifying group number 2. Once again, late model B main cars, limited late model B main cars. We need you to the staging lanes for your B main. Nice drone footage. Velocita by Melissa Markowitz, sponsor of our drone footage. That's the Fathead staging lanes. In turn 1, we have the Wormies Wraps Speed Cam and the My Non-Construction Instant Replay. My Non-Construction Instant Replay. Qualifying group number 3 will be rolling out on the track. All right, just momentarily, the cars will roll on over the hill for the third qualifying group. After this, we're going to get serious here with the B mains to set the field for the limited late models, and then the locked-in cars will get a hot lap session, and then the factory stocks will have their qualifying session after that. Once again, we need Christopher Gary Jackson in your white Ford F-250. You're blocking a spot in the parking lot. The dude you're blocking, he is fixing to hit the road. So, Christopher, Gary Jackson in your white Ford F-250. That's my radio voice, Cody. You're blocking somebody and you need to move that puppy real quick or we're going to help you out with that task. So Christopher Gary Jackson, in your white Ford F-250, we need you to vacate your location with your truck. All right. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, qualifying group number 3. We'll have Jared Harrison out of Anniston, Alabama in the 1-1. Bryson McElvey out of Tullahoma, Tennessee in the M11. Logan Camp out of Jasper out there in Walker County in the 95. Ricky Rule out of Aiken, South Carolina, the 51X. And Ray Heyer out of Savona, New York. Hey, oh boy, that's a little bit of a drive coming from New York. Overall time to beat the track record holder Daniel Coffey, 16:42. Right now, Bryson McElvey on his first lap, 17:34. Nice little 17-second run, but you got to put her in the 16s and deep into the 16s if you want to have a good starting spot in your heat race. McElvey drops his second lap down to a 17:34. Got a couple more laps around Talladega Short Track. There he comes under the flag stand. 17:16. He's been knocking it off a tenth and a half per lap. That's the driver in number 11. He's going down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Mini stock qualifying continues. Let's see if Bryson McElvey out of Tullahoma, Tennessee can go even quicker. No, he does not. So a 17:16 will be quick in that first half of qualifying group number 3. Let's give a quick shout out to Harvest Ministries. Harvest Ministries. They've got some guys from his place, and today is one of the guys' birthday. Josh Stillman, happy birthday from the Harvest Ministries group. Happy birthday, Josh Stillman. White flag, one more lap for this half of this qualifying group. Bryson McElvey quick in this group, 17:16, 17:16. You see the 51 of Ricky Rule, but boy, dude, all the way from New York in the 122, that's a haul. All right, that'll wrap it up for this first half of the qualifying group number 3. We have second half of group 3 and qualifying group number 4, and then we'll move into the limited late model B main. Happy birthday to Neil Kreider. Neil Kreider out of Dalton, Georgia. The big 3'7", 37-year-old today. Happy birthday, Neil Kreider. It says, from your old daughter. Oh, no. She says, you're old from your daughter. 37? Shoot, man, I got shoes older than that. Happy birthday, Neil Kreider out of Dalton, Georgia. A whopping 37. You just get broke in, boy. All right, we're rolling along. Got Dusty Lane, the number 1, the 69 of Ricky Bobby. Yes, 1 of John Smart and Todd Brewster in the 21. John Smart is no stranger to the winner's circle at any track in Tennessee and Alabama for that matter. That's the driver going out of turn number 2, getting around that number 11. John Smart is one cool dude. He's been doing this for a minute. And he is right now quick in this group. 16:59. 16:59. Just about 1,500s off the track record. So a 16:59 for John Smart. This man always comes prepared and ready to roll. That's the driver of the S1, John Smart, out of Manchester, Tennessee. So a 16:59, that'll put him second quick. He's still got another half of a lap. Let's see if John could do anything and beat that 16:59 under the flag stand. He does not, but still 16:59 is a very nice lap. So still Daniel Coffey out of Granite Falls, North Carolina, with a new track record of 16:42. He is on top of the heap. What a nice run by John Smart there, the Tennessee driver, with a 16:59. Final qualifying group, number 4. Well, there is the world-famous Julianne selling 50/50 tickets. Back from a trip out west. Hope you had a happy New Year and a good time, Miss Julianne. She'll be here all day today and especially all day tomorrow selling 50/50 tickets. Her very fashionable yet quite hairy husband is right behind me, Mr. Jeremiah. Good to see you, my brother. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Glad you made it, man. All right, in this final group, we got Troy Finley out of Uniontown, Tennessee in the 911, Chet Smith out of Bankston, Alabama in the 97, Derek Duggan in the 25G, Brian Vandergriff, oh boy, he's a heavyweight in the 27, and David Griffin. Right now, Troy Finley in that 911. 17:45. Make that. Somebody just ran a 7:05, but I don't think their name is missing data. So 17:05, I'm not sure which car number. It's not showing a car number and or a driver. But second quick on this deal is Troy Finley in the 911. Limited late model B-main cars. I can see you are lined up in the staging lanes. Your B-main to set the field for the main event. You'll be up to bat next. Final 5 cars ready to roll out on the racing service to conclude mini stock qualifying. Limited late model locked in cars. You will follow the limited B main. We should have Chad Carter in the 1C. Crystal Terry out of Moulton in the 03. Joe Wilson out of Muscle Shoals in the 17. Colton Tucker out of Moulton in the 96X. And Nathan Davis out of Madisonville, Tennessee in the D1. A nice contingent of cars representing Extreme Speedway up there in Moulton, Alabama. Or if you want to get really technical, Danville. Still, the time to beat the track record, 16:42. That's going to be very difficult to surpass. Brian Vandegrip right now, 16:65. Impressive run. It'll make him third quick behind Daniel Coffey and John Smart. So quick in that half. Driver number 27 out of Mount Pleasant, Tennessee with a 16:65. The 27 of Brian Vandegrip, 16:65. Vandegrip improved a little bit. 16:63. 16:63. Just a couple corners left to go. Make that a 16:61. 3 out of his 4 laps were an improvement by a couple of hundredths per lap. Not bad. 16:61. Second quickest in that group was Nathan Davis at a 16:84. Waiting for the cars to exit the racetrack, go across the TST scales. They meet proper weight. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, will be the limited late model B main. We have 12 cars. We're taking 6 to the big show. If you're in the pits, Miss Julianne will be walking through the pits doing 50-50. She's holding up a red sign. Anybody can buy one. They're going to be on the back straight away. You can put in a couple of bucks and maybe come out with 4 digits. So when all the mini stocks clear the infield, as qualifying has concluded with a new track record, limited late model B feature. On the pole will be Joe Hillman out of Villa Rica, Georgia, in the number 1. Outside of him will be Cody Courtney out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in the C11. Row 2, the skipper, the 215 of Pell City's Skip Freeman. Outside of him, Garrett Williams out of Kennesaw, Georgia, in the 54. Row 3 on the inside, Roger Morrow out of Murphy, North Carolina, in the M42. And Ty Wally in the 14 out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Row number 4 on the inside, the 53 of Chad Trammell out of Coleman. And Corey Hillman in the number 6 out of Douglasville, Georgia. Next row will be Jacob Sutton in the 5C out of Knoxville. And outside of him, starting 10th, will be Justin Owens out of Rossville, Georgia, in the S23. The next row, Tyson Britt out of Maynardville, Tennessee, starting 11th. And the always exciting Rucker Orr in the 99. He'll be starting 12th. So 6 transfer to the main event. This will be 12 laps of action. Now we're getting serious, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not in the top 6, it's Bud Light time at your trailer and telling more lies. And if you're in the top 6, you're going to be racing later on this afternoon. So good deal here. Limited late model B main. These cars are powered by small block Chevrolets, 362 cubic inch, all steel small block. Steel block, cast iron heads, big old carburetor upstairs. I believe they still use the 750 thing. 2,350 pounds with driver. Hoosiers on all 4 corners. 8-inch spoiler. Okay. Just got a bunch of free stuff up here I'm going to give away a little bit. Thank you, Jeremiah. So the limited late models in this division here at Talladega Short Track, it is a weekly division here. In this division, in 9 races, we had 4 winners, with Lucas Burns, one of the heavyweights here, with 4 wins. T.J. Britton with 3. Tim Boucher won, and Oliver Gentry won. So a very competitive division. So we're going to turn up the horsepower factor a wee bit, and we're going to go a lot faster here with the limited late models. Your track champion this year is Atala's Lucas Burns. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to get busy. Limited late model B main, 12 laps. 6 go to the finals. And what's unique about this class, ladies and gentlemen, you can see the difference. You see the 1 and the 11. You can either run with the roof on or the roof off. That's an option here with the limited late models. I kind of like them without the roof. So we got Joe Hillman and Cody Courtney, row 1. Skip Freeman and Garrett Williams, row 2. Roger Morrow and Ty Wally, row 3. Row 4, we got Chad Trammell and Corey Hillman. Row 5, the 5 of Jacob Sutton and the S23 of Justin Owens. And row 6, the 22 of Tyson Britt and Rucker Orr. I tell you what, a couple years ago, in one of the preliminaries here, Rucker Orr, you can see he's got the roof off. It's that nice yellow and black machine. You would classify this driver as a gasser. He likes to mash the pedal, get up on the bars, drive the wheels off of that bad boy, and try to get to the front. All right, ladies and gentlemen, serious time. Top 6, you're good. Bottom 6, you're on the trailer. Here we go, we're racing. Limited late models pounded it into turn number 1 here at Talladega Short Track in East Tavoga, Alabama. Early leader is Cody Courtney. is Ken Kyle's defending champion on this one, under the flag stand, lap number 1. Got about 3 or 4 cars without the roof. The rest have the top on. As we go yellow flag, we have a car stopping at the top of turn number 3. So bring out an early caution. We did get a lap in, it appears. We're going to try that again. 1 lap in the can. 11 more to go. 12 laps is the racing distance. Once again, very important. Top 6 to the main event. You don't want to be the first 6 that are on the trailer and done for the weekend. Track still in rather nice condition. These overcast conditions and cool conditions are very helpful to keeping the track nice. Still got a little patch of brown on the bottom, and of course the top groove, which no one's really dared to work over yet, is in good shape. So Cody Courtney out of Knoxville, Tennessee, in that number 11. He'll be all by his lonesome in this TST style restart. Joe Hillman on the inside of row number 1. Skip Freeman on the outside. After about a lap, I'll tell you who's on the bump spot. Ooh, a little bit of beating and bang, and a little bumper tag. We're green coming out of turn number 4. Andy Cooley shows the green flags. They roll into turn number 1. Beautiful sound of unmuffled limited late models here on a Friday almost afternoon here at the 35th Annual Ice Bowl. And we go yellow once again. We got a couple of boys getting together there in turn number 1. That's number 5 of Jacob Sutton. And the 42 of Roger Morrow, the North Carolina driver, having a little bit of a brouhaha on turn number 1. Bring out our second yellow flag with this limited late model B-Main. Limited late model locked in cars. You're going to follow this B-Main locked in limited. Your hot lap session will be next. Talladega Short Track, been in the racing business since 1977. Started off as a motorcycle venue, and then in 1977, the late Alfred Gurley and Lane Preacher Phillips turned it into one of the most successful dirt tracks in the state of Alabama. Been running for many, many a moon. We'll have our 49th season opener on Saturday, March 14th. That'll be our official season opener for points and what have you. Don't forget the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars will be here Friday, March 6th. That should be a good show. You can see on the nice overhead drone shot by Velocita by Melissa Markowitz how much liquid is down by the Yuki tires in the bottom of the corners. And you see how much was kicked up on turns 3 and 4. And we got the JCB West Pro tractor out there, and we're going to spread a little bit of our redneck oil dry, better known as some red dirt. And it won't take very long for the cars to suck up the moisture. And for the folks that brought me up that sausage on a stick, I still haven't finished that puppy because I don't want to be chewing and announcing at the same time, but this thing is epically good. So thank you so much for that sausage on a stick. Just delicious. Way to go. Remember to try to get your Ice Bowl t-shirts and hoodies before they go bye-bye. We got a souvenir trailer if you want a hoodie, a t-shirt, earplugs, goggles, die-cast, Talladega Short Track shirts. They got them down there at the TST Apparel. Oh, you have a small lull in action cleaning up that moisture. Ice Bowl champions. The first Ice Bowl we had for Super Late models was in 1991. It was won by Ronnie Johnson. Here's a little interesting stat. In 1992, we did not run the Ice Bowl. Why? Because we got snowed out. Other winners, Danny People in 93, Dale McDowell, 94, Stan Massey in 95, Jody Somerville, he got a couple of them. Kenny Merchant won 2 in a row, 97, 98. Danny Peoples in 99. Terry English in 2000. The late, great Mike Head in 2001. Jody Somerville won his second one in 2002. Shane Clanton won his first of 3 starting in 2003. And you remember Frank Ingram? He won it in 2004. Clanton in 05. Joel Rice in 06. And the first one I came to was in 07. Billy Mayo won it in 2007. 2008, Bobby Mays. Haven't heard that name in a while. 2009, Ray Cook won his first of 3 in 2009. Then we had Randall Walker. Shane Clanton got another one. Ray Cook, another one in 2012. And Ross Martin, one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in racing. Great guy, man. Won in 2013. That was an awesome day. William Thomas won in 2014. And Kathy, I know you're down there. Tim Rozelle took the 2015 Ice Bowl crown. In 2016, David Brandon from Tennessee. And then we had a 5-year run, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 for Michael Page, 5 in a row. Finally, the streak was broken in 22 with Christian Hanger. Ray Cook grabbed another one in 23. Ryan Gustin in 2024. And last year's winner, Sam Searide. So we've had 34 Ice Bowls. Up to this point, we've had 23 different Ice Bowl winners. Once again, the most wins, Page with 5, Cook with 3, Clanton with 3, Peoples with 2, Somerville 2, and Kenny Merchant with 2, and all the rest got a single victory. So, yes, sir.
Racers are dedicated to winning, and Chevrolet Performance's 3 factory-sealed Circle Track crate engines can help you get to the checkered flag first. Whether you're a weekend warrior or a touring hero, on dirt or pavement, Chevrolet Performance Circle Track crate engines are engineered to win, right out of the box.
Now you're witnessing the process of trying to soak up all that moisture by running over the dirt. It would just take a couple of more minutes and we'll have this all squared away. One of our scheduled highlights in the month of May will be the Topless Outlaw Late Model Racing Association. And the cars are very similar to what you see here, limited late models. They'll be running for a nice $4,000 to win. I believe it's the 23rd of May. So the Topless Outlaw Late Models will be back here. Last year, I believe we had 39 or 40 limiteds, and I believe the winner was Booger Brooks, if my memory serves correctly. But the Topless Outlaw Late Model Association will be back here in the month of May. Another highlights of the Talladega Short Track season, besides the World of Outlaw sprint cars, NASCAR weekend will have the World of Outlaw super late models here. That means we get to see the big boys such as Bobby Pierce and Dennis Erb and drivers like that. World of Outlaws will be here on NASCAR weekend. Other highlights, the USCS Wing Sprint cars will be here for a couple of dates. I believe 3 total dates. Part of their speed week on a Thursday, Labor Day weekend. Then we're going to have a special 30th anniversary race here in November. The Crate Racing USA Touring 604 Series will be here on the second NASCAR weekend, if I'm not mistaken. Also, the Southern Thunder Super Late Model Series will also make an appearance here at Talladega Short Track at some point during the season. Our schedule is just about finalized. What a great shot by the drone coming out of turn number 4, right down the main straightaway. Great flying, Michael. Good job on that bad boy. Once again, limited late model, locked in cars. You should be in the staging lanes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, time to rock and roll with 1 in the can, 11 to go. Limited late model B main underway. Got to be at the top 6, otherwise you're toast for the rest of the weekend. It's trailer time. Cody Courtney in that number 11. Right now, the man with the plan, he's at the point. He rolls out of turn number 4 down the main straightaway, going into turn number 1. Pretty much one of the topless cars out here. That driver from Knoxville, Tennessee. No stranger to the Talladega Short Track. Running in that second spot is Joe Hillman out of Villa Rica, Georgia. He's a frequent competitor here at TST. 3 laps in the can. Running in that third spot is the 54 of Garrett Williams. Garrett Williams in the 54 of Kennesaw, Georgia. So we got Tennessee and 2 Georgia boys in the top 3. First Alabama car is the 215 of Skip Freeman. He rolls out of turn number 4 in that 4th spot on the 4th lap. And Mr. Excitement, Rucker Orr in that 99, he started dead last. That would be 12th for Dose if you hobble out a little bit. And he's up into that 5th position. He is in the show at this point. The bubble car right now is Ty Wally out of Knoxville in the 14. He is running in that 6th position. You see cross sticks from starter Andy Cooley. 6 in the books, 6 more to go. At 99, a Rucker Orr, if you're following, we're going to follow number 5 real quick as he rolls in and turn number 5. Turn number 5. Where the heck am I at? Road course? Turn number 4. Laps are starting to wind down. It's busy time for the people in the bottom 6. Courtney, Hillman. 3rd is Williams. 4th is Freeman. 5th is Rucker Orr. Hillman's dropped down to 6th, and it's the 22 beat of Britt. He is the, excuse me, I got that wrong. It's Trammell in the 53, who's on the outside, looking in, running in 7th. 9 laps in, 3 more to go. Rucker Orr, who started dead last, is starting to threaten for 3rd. But your leader, Courtney, in the C11, rolls out of 4th. 2 laps left to go. 2 sticks are in the air. 2 more circuits. 1 trip around the Talladega Short Track is a 1/3 of a mile. A .33 high banker with this beautiful red clay here at East Tavoga, Alabama. The Talladega Short Track, better known as the Hornet's Nest. Should be white flag out. White flag, a very clean white flag so far this weekend. Field spread out throughout the facility. Coming out of turn number 4, he'll be in the show. Cody Courtney in the 11th. Hillman running in 2nd. He'll grab 2nd. Williams 3rd. Freeman 4th. Rucker Orr 5th. And the 14 is in the show. That is Wally out of Knoxville, Tennessee. Those are your top 6. So Chad Trammell, Corey Hillman, Jacob Sutton, Justin Owens, Tyson Britt. Your weekend is over with, unfortunately. Thank you for coming. We appreciate you coming here to Talladega Short Track. So the limited late model B main in the race ledger for 2026 here at TST. Next up will be limited late model main hot laps. The cars that are locked in from yesterday's qualifying and heat races will come out and get a practice session here. And the time it is about 12:10 on this Friday afternoon. Factory stocks to the tail end of the staging lanes, please. Factory stocks to the tail end of the staging lanes. You can see the limited late model cars on the drone footage here at TST. Tell some of your peeps to come on out tomorrow. It's going to be a nice day tomorrow from what I understand. Of course, subject to change. Tell them to come out to Ice Bowl main event day here at the short track. If you haven't heard, in the month of April, I think it's the 11th, first ever visit, we're going to have the American Big Rigs here racing at the short track. The American Big Rig Dirt Racing Association will be here on a Saturday in April. That should be quite interesting. Dirt Big Rigs getting sideways here at the short track in the month of April. There's your top 18 limited late models. So we'll have a field of 24 limited late model locked in cars. Boy, there's the B4 of Brandon Brown out of Hanceville, Alabama. That dude is one bad hombre. He's got some new pipe on that machine. He debated at the Santa Shootout. There's Oliver Gentry in the 03. Brandon Brown just runs good wherever he is at. A little unusual white color in that ride, but keep an eye on that dude. He can get around TST. Oliver Gentry got a single victory here at Talladega Short Track back on the 31st of August. Race number 10. He's got a daughter, Olivia Gentry, that races out here. And boy, she's getting faster every time she jumps into that seat of that limited. Second and final flight for the locked-in Limited 8 models, rolling over turn number 4. Jonathan Chapman in the 33. Now you see that white number 57, ladies and gentlemen? This is, I think, only about her third race in the limited division, but she's been racing 602s for a while. She's been racing 604s for a minute. She's a multi-time go-kart champion. She's out of Weaver, Alabama. She's a young lady. She's a whopping 12 years old, driver the 57 Rain Gibbs out of Weaver, Alabama, in the limiteds, making the show last night. Congrats to the Gibbs family. They have Exile Armory in Weaver, Alabama, a big old gun store. Looks like that car is pushing like a dump truck at the moment. Ooh, yeah, Dad's going to have to make some major adjustments to that late model. It is not turning at all. That's the 57. If you get a camera shot of that, Josh, the 57 come, well, just like that, the hot lap session is over. That thing had a horrible understeer. And that'll do it for hot laps. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one of our biggest fields of the weekend. 59 cars strong. One of the most competitive divisions here on a weekly basis at Talladega Short Track. One of the most heated divisions where the competition is fierce and sometimes the tempers boil over. The 59-car field of the factory stocks. The full-fendered boys. Let the games begin as they climb over the hill here at Talladega Short Track. Your track record, 1672 by Chris Howell. Set back in 2021, 1672 is the track record. Chris Howell. That's a stout time. I don't know if we can get close to that one. All right. Here are your qualifiers. Hazen Shirer out of Lynchburg, Tennessee. If I butchered it, I'm sorry. Jimmy Nolan in the 00 out of Lexington. Christian Carnley out of Florala, Alabama. Keenan Van de Griff out of Mount Pleasant,